Let's go to V2 on Program and Preview. To load a virtual set, click on the gear next to the current effect name, which by default is A over B. There are a variety of sets in different styles and looks. Full standing sets show a full body shot in the icon. These require a head-to-toe green screen shot like this. There are a variety of close-up shots, and these are shown with a waist-up shot in the icon like these. These, of course, require a green screen shot from the waist up. And there are a variety of seated behind the desk shots, which require a seated shot. Many sets have multiple camera angles, including left, right, and center, and these require several camera shots from these angles as green screen inputs. So the first thing to decide is what set you will use and what shots you will need for your show. For this show, we want to use a set that allows for a single shot of each host and a two-shot of both of them behind a desk. The Plaza set will work well for this. Not all sets work the same way. You need to experiment with them to find out what each one does and how you can use it. You can either scroll down to the Plaza set selections or use the filter at the top of the requester and type in Plaza. There are 6 set options here. We will start with the center shot. Click on it and click OK. Once the set loads, you can populate it. Input A row is the talent, and input B row is what will be in the on-screen monitor. Let's choose camera 1 for input A. You now see the talent behind the desk. If they are not the right size or in the right place, you have 2 options. Adjusting the camera is step 1. Zooming the camera in and out will scale the talent in the virtual set. Panning the camera left and right and tilting it up and down will position the talent. There are also camera aligners to help with this task. Click on the gear to load a new set. At the top of the set list, there are some aligners. There are aligners for 1 or 2 people behind the desk as a center shot, a left and right single seated shots, a center close-up shot, and a center full standing shot. Load up the single center aligner. Now zoom and pan the camera to fit the talent in the outline. It doesn't have to be perfect, just close. Now click the gear and reload Plaza Center. You can also make camera adjustments while looking at the set and compose by eye. Once the camera shot is set to the best of your ability, lock the camera down. You will not need a camera operator for this camera during the production if it's being used for virtual sets, since the incoming camera shot will never change. You can then use the positioner at the end of the input A row to make final tweaks if necessary. Now you can choose any input on the input B row to fill the on-set monitor. This can be live video, the DDR, or any input available on the input B row. This row can also be positioned and scaled inside of the on-screen monitor by using the positioner at the end of the input B row. Let's add a bug to the corner of the screen using the overlay. Select the bug you want to use in Graphics 2 and set the overlay to Graphics 2. Now take the overlay. Select camera 3 on the input A row, which will put the 2-shot behind the desk. Now there are 2 options for zooming the camera within the virtual input like you see here. You can snap zoom using presets, or you can even set the zoom level for any of these presets by clicking and dragging the slider at the top of each preset like you see here. You can turn on animate zoom and have it zoom in and out over time. Now you can move from preset to preset using the icons with animated zooms. There's a pop-up control to select the speed of the zoom. Or you can click on the number displayed in the pop-up, and you can scrub that number or type in a custom speed, faster than fast or slower than slow. The speed can even be changed during an animated zoom. The number is the number of seconds that it will take to complete the camera move. There's also a T-bar next to that pop-up that allows for manual control of the zoom. Notice, anytime a zoom is done, there's an automatic ease in and ease out, giving you a super smooth motion. But for now, let's leave this on a wide shot. Now we can set up our first single shot. Go to V3 on Program and Preview. Let's click on the gear to load a set and load up Plaza Left. For this shot, I will use a single shot of Rex. Now, to create the illusion of this being in the same set as the 2 shot, we will zoom all the way in on this shot and never zoom out. If we look at the 2 shot, we see Rex is next to the monitor. So we use him in the single shot, as you can also see the monitor in this camera angle. It is important to set the input B row of both sets to the same input, so when switching from one camera angle to another, the monitor content remains consistent. Now we will set up Kiki single shot. We will go to V4 on Program and Preview. Click on the gear to load a set and choose Plaza Right. Zoom all the way in. Notice you lose the monitor from this shot. Now you have a shot of Kiki close up, a shot of Rex close up, and a 2 shot of the both of them that you can zoom in and out on. Remember, the single shots always remain static with no zoom, or it blows the illusion. That's only for the setup in this Plaza set. Now let's go back to V1, where our basic key is set up. This is a beautiful effect, but there is another way to display video with talent called a double box. Let's click on the gear to load a set and choose one of the double box effects for the Plaza set. The icons for these look different. They look like the effect, and they are labeled double box left or right. Now the talent is in a small box and still inside the virtual set, with a much larger box playing the B-row video. Let's remove the overlay in V1 by clicking on the Take button in the V1 Setup tab. Now let's say you want a bug on the 3 camera shots, but not on the double box. Load a new tech bug into Graphics 2. With the bug selected in Graphics 2, we will set the overlay for V2, V3, and V4 to Graphics 2 and take it. Remember, the overlay can be any input, including live video, so you could size and position the overlay as a picture-in-picture type effect as well. Each overlay also uses transitions to enter and leave the screen. So by choosing a fly-in effect and using the auto button, you can fly video and graphics on and off the screen when using that virtual input. The speed of the effect can be adjusted here, just like the speed of the zoom. And you can load any effect by clicking on this gear and selecting Browse. Each time you run an effect for an overlay, it will reverse its direction automatically. This means the first time you run an overlay, it flies on, and the second time you run it, it flies off.